What's up? It's Marco back in on This Week in Soccer, the weekly show where we cover all players in the US men's national team. Man, we got a good amount to talk about this week. Not too much in terms of like great action or anything, but just little updates on rumors, some updates on injuries, and some players who are doing well. So first, starting with goalkeepers, we got Zack, Steffen, and he made one of his rare appearances of the season, though those are going to be going down because Man City lost in the League Cup to West Ham. Zack Steffen did keep a clean sheet and did have a good performance, but he led in all 5 penalties in the shootout, though I don't think you can put that loss on him at all. He's definitely Man City's backup, and I feel like he could do more, but he's got to leave the club or at least get loaned out before the World Cup starts. Yeah, it is what it is. Next, we got Ethan Horvath, and according to Nottingham Post, their manager Steve Cooper has recently said that Ethan Horvath didn't come here to sit, and he wants to play, and he's on the bench again today, so make of that as you will. Maybe, I feel like that article means that's either a sign that some game time is going to be coming, or maybe a move elsewhere. I'm not sure which, but he doesn't appear to be playing right now, so that's something. Next, Matt Turner and the New England Revolution set an MLS points record. I mean, man, they've been amazing this year. I made a video on them a while back and how they made this team, but yeah, great job by him. Really strong performance. Yeah, he's been looking like a really good player, and especially with how little everybody else is playing, he's definitely the number one for the USA team. And another guy I want to mention is Bill Hamid. He kept a clean sheet, and he's been doing well for DC United since he returned from injury. I've still got him rated a bit above Sean Johnson, so maybe if we have another window where guys like Horvath and Steffen are unavailable due to England's travel restrictions, maybe you throw Bill Hamid in the squad, but at the same time, that's a bit of a risk due to Bill Hamid's like injury history, because you want your backup to like always be there, always be reliable, and he really isn't that right now. But I do feel like he's probably our 4th best keeper by a clear margin. I also want to give a shout to Gabe Slonina. Slonina, sorry, Jesus. Man, he's been playing really well for Chicago Fire. He's only 17. I'd honestly be considering calling him up for the current window, but there's the USA U20 team returning to action. I'll talk about that a bit more later, but I feel like Slonina will be much better served on that squad than with the senior team just being on the bench. So I don't feel like we should consider him yet. I honestly might start covering him if he does well that tournament. But now into center backs, and John Brooks, he's continuing to play for Wolfsburg. He's back in the team, but Wolfsburg, they've really cooled off since their strong start to the year and falling back into what do you really expect from them, man. They're kind of like up and down. They had a really good squad for a while. Like I remember when Kevin De Bruyne was there, they were like insane. But they had that run in the Champions League quarterfinals, semifinals a while back. I think Ronaldo got a hat trick against them. But yeah, they had a very strong team then. But they're back to like at best 3rd or 4th best team in the Bundesliga. You know. Chris Richards, he's getting more game time for Hoffenheim. He's continuing to play for them. He's getting rested today, but he's been playing really well. Man, I'm hoping that he keeps starting for the USA team because, man, he's such a talent. We got to keep playing him. Mark McKenzie, he played midweek for Genk. I mean, I've talked about this trend before. If there's a midweek game, he'll be playing in the less important game of the week. So this week they had a cup game on Tuesday or Wednesday. He played in that, and not in the league game. So, I mean, game time is game time, but man, Belgium's not been the best for us lately. We'll get to Owen side later. Then Matt Miazga, he's continuing to play for Alavés. Again, he rested midweek, but continuing to play for them. And honestly, I feel like he's got to get recalled at this point because I'm looking at these guys on our team like John Brooks, a little bit iffy. Then Chris Richards, Miles Robinson. Matt Miazga probably got himself ahead of Mark McKenzie. I mean, we didn't call up Walker Zimmerman despite us playing him 2 times, so maybe he's ahead of Walker Zimmerman. So I really feel like we got to get Matt Miazga back in the team. He's been doing well. Next, another center back has been really performing on loan at a new club, Cameron Carter-Vickers. He's been playing great for Celtic. He's been a real good player for them. He got another goal this weekend, and he's continued to play well. He had a rough time at the start, but he adjusted, and he's playing very strong. I don't feel like we should recall him as of yet because I mentioned all the center backs earlier. I don't feel like he's above them yet, or we'd take the risk of putting him in the squad. But he's been playing very well, and honestly, I see him moving to a Premier League team next season. Maybe it's a team that gets promoted or a team that barely stays up, but I feel like he can get into the Premier League. We saw him linked with Newcastle before. I don't feel like he'd move to Newcastle now that they have like all that money, but I mean, maybe, but I feel like Cameron Carter-Vickers, a move for him is coming. Next, I'm going to keep mentioning him. Tim Ream, he's still playing well in the championship. They kept a clean sheet. I just feel guilty if I don't mention him because I'm going to be bigging up Anthony Robinson, who's been playing great, and they're at the same level, at the same club, so you do have to give credit for Tim Ream. He is a very solid championship center back, but that is his level. Next, we go to Erik Palmer-Brown, who is still not playing on loan at Troyes, and man, at this point, I'm really considering just stopping the coverage of him because nothing's happening. Nothing's been happening for a while, and if he's not getting into a relegation fighting Ligue 1 team, he's not really someone to be considered. We've got a lot of center back depth. Nobody's really great at the moment, I feel but we've got a lot of depth, and he's not even scratching the surface. He might be our 10th guy. It depends if you count Aaron Long, but there are a lot of guys ahead of him, and Erik Palmer-Brown's still doing nothing, so it's something we got to talk about. And then Justin Shea, maybe he's somebody who's a center back, but he got another assist at right back, and he's been playing pretty well there. He's getting forward a lot better than I thought he would. His attacking output's been pretty good, and I do feel he's still a natural center back, but it's a good problem to have. He's talk about different positions. I feel his future is at center back, but something to keep in mind. Next, we go to fullbacks, and for Sergiño Dest, I just want to talk about something. Ronald Koeman was fired, and that might be a bit of an issue for him. Koeman was the guy who recruited Dest to Barcelona, obviously the Dutch connection. So, with Koeman gone, maybe his playing time will go down. Maybe his role will change. We have to see, but something I want to mention. Anthony Robinson, he's been excelling in the championship. Still a very strong player. I definitely see a big move for him coming. Well, Fulham's probably going to get promoted, but he's definitely going to be in the Premier League next season is what I mean. Next, Reggie Cannon. He's back in the Boa Vista team. He's finally starting for them, and he's actually been playing further forward, further up the field. He was at a right mid position, and hey, maybe that's something. They definitely have faith in him attacking, and it's just good to see him finally out of the doghouse. I'd take him at goalkeeper at this point because he had not been playing. DeAndre Yedlin's still starting for Galatasaray. That's really good to see. They're a strong club, and for him to be playing there, that's definitely a good thing. Now, bad news is Brian Reynolds not looking so good at Roma. I think I mentioned last week Jose Mourinho chewed out a good amount of the Roma team, but he was definitely part of it, and he hasn't even appeared on the bench since then, so I'm not expecting Brian Reynolds to play in any meaningful game, barring a huge injury crisis, and I'm definitely expecting to be probably going to be out of there by January, on a loan I'd assume, but he's probably going to be out of there by January. And lastly, for fullbacks, Joe Scaly has been playing great. He helped Borussia Mönchengladbach knock out Bayern Munich in a 5-0 win, where he did a very good job on Alphonso Davies. So, just throwing that out there, he definitely needs to be in the USA squad, the senior team, because he's been playing great. And I'm looking at these guys, probably Dest, Robinson, I guess Yedlin and Scaly. Those are the guys we got to call up at the moment. Maybe Reggie Cannon if he is playing a bit more, but Joe Scaly, he's definitely above Shaq more at this point. I'd probably have him above Reggie Cannon, probably above Yedlin, I don't know, but man, he's been playing great. We need to get him in the squad. We needed him last time, but definitely need him this time. Next, Weston McKennie. Does Allegri like him? I have no idea. I've got to go get a flower and just start picking up off the petals, because that'd be as good as a judge of it as anything, because apparently Allegri likes him now, according to a Juventus.com report. He likes him not. He likes him not. I have no idea. At this point, I'm waiting for January to see if any more rumors start coming up. There are a bunch of him moving to the Premier League rumors. I think he was linked to Tottenham, West Ham, Burnley. I don't feel like those were too legit, but maybe the Tottenham one. But just something to throw out there, because I've got no idea what that situation is, but maybe that turns around. Maybe he keeps playing at Juventus. Next, Tyler Adams. He's continuing to play with an RB Leipzig team that's really turning things around. They had a bit of a rough start, but I feel like they're getting back into form. Probably not going to be in the Champions League knockout round, almost guaranteed now, but hopefully they'll be able to beat, I think Bruges is the other team in their group, aside from Man City and PSG, so hopefully they'll get into the Europa League, be able to have a good run there. Next, Eunice Musa. He played in a midweek loss for Valencia. Not been playing the most lately, but man, we still see his talent, and as long as he's like getting some game time, especially in Valencia, you really want him in the squad. He's got to be called up again. Brendan Aaronson, he's still dominating Austria. I'm really expecting the rumors to pick up for him probably around like late November. I mean, you'd assume he'd go to RB Leipzig after this. His old coach, Jesse Mark, he's going to be there. Obviously, the connection with RB Salzburg, so that'll probably come up pretty soon. I'm assuming that happens by the end of the year. Next, John Lucabusio. He picked up a bit of a knock this week for when playing for Venezia. But actually, knowing Greg Berhalter, this probably means he'll play 90 minutes. So, because he keeps playing all of our injured guys. So, hopefully Busio stays in the national team. He recovers. I really like Busio, so hopefully he recovers. Luc De La Torre, he's continuing to play for Heracles. I think I mentioned this before, but man, I was kind of getting in on him for turning down the Gold Cup call-up. But honestly, it might have been the good decision because he's been playing a lot for Heracles. He's got recalled to the national team. I obviously would have liked to see him in the USA shirt, but hey, if it's working for him, it's working for him, and he's doing well. Plays Ajax this week. That might be a good game to watch. Next, Owen Atawasai. He didn't even see the bench in a cup game for Club Brugge, so I'm really not expecting to see him play at all this for a while, which is really disappointing because he's a talented player. And I feel like he made the right move going to Belgium, but man, Belgium has been great for us lately. Mark McKenzie's barely played, Ethan Horvath not doing great. But, sucks for Adasai. He's playing more at Wolves, to be honest. He probably would be, but, disappointing. And lastly, Julian Green. He's been on the bench a bit lately for Greuther Fürth. Pretty disappointing because I feel like he's a really talented player. I'd love to see him play more, but hopefully get back into the squad because they haven't been doing great without him. I feel like they're just trying, throwing stuff on the wall, hoping it sticks because I think they've got 1 point in the Bundesliga. They're definitely going down. Hopefully Green can prove himself enough to get a good move. Next, going to wingers, Christian Pulisic is back in training for Chelsea. He's not been playing yet. He missed out on that 7-0 win. We'll get to that later, Sergeant. But, he's back in training, and honestly, he'll probably be in the national team squad, and he'll probably play 90 minutes in the first game. I'm being honest with that. We play so many guys through injuries that I think it's going to happen. Though Gio Reyna, he's still hurt. He is out for the national team window. Tim Weah, he's been getting a lot of time. He's finally hitting his pre-injury expectations that I had for him. I forgot to check if he's going to be playing today against PSG. He hasn't been starting lately, so he probably will be, and if not, he's definitely coming off the bench. That's going to be a really good game, and hopefully Tim Weah can keep his momentum going because he's been great lately. Then Conrad De La Fuente, he got game time in a draw against PSG. That must have been kind of awesome, seeing the field with Messi. But, continuing to play well. Probably not going to be recalled to the national team if he wasn't last time. I imagine Pulisic will be back, then Weah, Brendan Aaronson plays at the wing for us. Maybe he'll be there, maybe he won't be. It's tough to say. And last winger is Jordan Morris. The MLS is actually reporting that he will return Monday for Seattle Sounders, which is very good to see with how many injuries we have at winger. It's good to have the depth. With how many injury-prone guys we call up, he might get some time. And, I feel like we have to call up MLS players, and I think Zardes and Areola are hurt right now, so honestly, if Morris plays well, he might be in the national team, which is kind of scary to think about, but he might be. Lastly, we're on to strikers, and Josh Sargent, we've got good news. He's starting for Norwich. Bad news, they lost 7-0. Probably, though, one of the most lopsided games I've seen in a while, and that's actually kind of typical for Norwich. They always get beat 5-0, and then they pull out a win against Arsenal. I don't know, but I feel like the Premier League is kind of incomplete those years for Norwich is in the Championship. I always like them, so they're going to get relegated this year, though, but hey, he's starting for Norwich. Game time isn't a bad thing. Daryl DK, he's still scoring goals for Orlando, not Atlanta. So yeah, you're really expecting Daryl DK. Hopefully he can get back to the national team because I don't want Sargent. Zardes is hurt. Pfalk has been kind of slowing down as of late. So honestly, just on form, maybe you want Daryl DK and to back up Pepe. I'm not sure, but Daryl DK is definitely a good option. I mentioned Pfalk has been slowing down scoring-wise. Nicolo Giaccini, I should probably move him to wingers. I feel like he's a winger at this point. But he's been making appearances every week for Montpellier. That's really good for him. He's continuing to play, continuing to get better. He's been like Cameron Carter-Vickers, where he's just been climbing the ladder over in France. And if he can keep improving, keep getting more game time, like, sky's the limit for him, you know? Matthew Hoppe. This is why I've been really pissed at Berhalter this video. It's been rumored, and I should say that I haven't been able to find like a source for this, but it's been rumored that before the World Cup qualifying window, he picked up an injury in the game against Real Madrid, where he picked up an assist against Real Madrid, though they lost 6-1. But he assisted the one, and Matthew Hoppe, he got hurt in that game, but he was still called into the national team. He still played for them, and he's been recovering from that injury lately. That's why he hasn't been playing for Mallorca. So that's really where my animosity towards Greg comes this week. It'll come from a lot of places a lot of times, but this week that's what I'm mad about. So, yeah, really disappointing. And last guy to talk about is Ricardo Pepe. More clubs are interested in him. Apparently Fiorentina sent some scouts, but like, honestly, if I cover every single club interested in him, this video will be even longer than it already is. So, like, he's going to move this winter. Where just close your eyes, throw a dart at a map. I have no idea. I'd like Ajax. I could see Bayern Munich. They seem to be really interested in him. Maybe Bayern, get him loaned out to some Bundesliga clubs. That'd be good. Yeah, I have no idea at the moment, but hey, he's a really talented player, and honestly feel like he'll make it no matter where he goes. So yeah, that's all I really have to talk about player-wise. I should mention that the USA Youth International teams return. We got a U17 squad together. Notable players, Adrian Gilk, a guy from Barcelona, like real Barcelona, not the one in Arizona. The Arizona one has been great for us, though. Matthew Hoppe came from there. But, yeah, somebody to look out for, I guess. And U23 team will be putting in a team to play in a couple of cups in November. A couple of cup games in November. It's U20 is what it's called, but it's actually U23 or a 2003 team because it's for the U20 World Cup in 2023. So it's basically everybody who's born in 2003, except for Ricardo Pepe, who's going to be in the national team squad. But guys like Cade Cowell, Dante Sealy, Moses Nyman, Kevin Paredes, Daniel Leva, potentially Jonathan Gomez. Not too sure about him because he's a dual international. He's got club commitments. Justin Che, Gabe Slonina, more players like that. So that's something I'm going to try to cover. I think they play games that like coincide with the Jamaica game. So going to be tough to see if there's even time to cover it. But yeah, that's all I really have to talk about. Yeah, decent week for us. Hopefully some of those moves go through. Hopefully guys continue to hit form. Yeah, I'll see you.